Hey, welcome back to another session of Breakfast with Senator Cook. It's Saturday, March 4th, and a beautiful Saturday at that, especially since we don't have 4 inches of snow on the ground, and so that's always good news. But spring is here. It's looking beautiful. Trees are in blossom. Looks great. My wife is going to join us. We just had a grandchild show up, and so she's going to join me this morning. So we'll kind of have an extra treat here as we get going. Anyway, 3 things I want to talk about today is one is why is Mr. Doyle Beck so mad at me? And second is there's 3 ways to vote, and how is the campaign coming? Those are the things I kind of want to talk about. So first up, I was out knocking on doors and came across several individuals that asked the question, I'm not a big fan of Mr. Doyle Beck, but why is he so mad at you? And so I wanted to go over that and maybe explain why is he so mad at me? So Mr. Beck is the chairman of Legislative District 32. He sits on the board of the Idaho Freedom Foundation. And so it's a special Idaho Freedom Foundation. If you're not familiar with them, it's a special group, and it is his belief that I should be following what the Idaho Freedom Foundation tells me to, that I should look to see how to vote based on them, and that I should also look and vote the way that the executive board, the central committee, tells me how to vote. And so I didn't do that. I look to my constituents. I look at the Constitution. I do my homework and I study to figure out what is best to come up with that. Anyway, they came up with some allegations and wanted to put me on trial. And I said, okay, well, that's part of the Republican Party if that's what they want to do. However, Mr. Beck said, we will not go on trial until we both agree on the rules of the trial. And so we worked through those rules, but we never come to an agreement. And one of those biggest things that got you is that he wanted to do everything behind closed doors. And I said, no way. I want this up in public. I want the public to see the discussion. I want the public to see the trial. I want the public to see the votes. And he says, no, won't do that. And so he went ahead and scheduled the trial. And because of that, I didn't show up to the trial. That didn't go over well. And so in that trial, they had several allegations, and they've had 2 trials against me and had several allegations. And so what were those allegations? First of all, I voted for the Launch Program. The Launch Program is an existing program that's been around for about 5 years. It was mainly looking at those adults that graduate from high school, kind of went off of the radar, and then came back and said, I need to get a career. I need to get back in life and start earning a career and helping out. And what Launch did for those people is, on average, those that stuck with Launch and graduated through the program increased their income by $16,000, which took them from a social taker to a community giver, contributor, okay? Big thing. So the Launch Program, we then extended that to our high school kids, graduating high school seniors, to help them to get an education, to further their education, to help them to improve their skills, and to help Idaho businesses to be able to find skilled, trained, educated workers. And that is what the government is supposed to do, is provide an infrastructure, provide roads and highways and electrical systems and water treatment systems, universities, education, and people to help with those businesses. That's part of the infrastructure. And so I did vote for that, and they were upset with that. Second one was the Idaho presidential primary, House Bill 138. It was to consolidate the March presidential primary election with the May primary. The state GOP was in full support right up until the very minute of the vote. I supported saving $2.5 million by still providing a primary for Idaho voters. Instead, Chairman Dorothy Moon has used the consolidation as an excuse to force a presidential caucus, which is what we did, okay? So I voted for that, and then he was upset with that. Okay, I voted for the primary, to have the primary, not the caucus. The third thing is I voted against private school funding. I voted against this bill simply because the bill required the state of Idaho to hand over millions of dollars to private schools and have no say in whatsoever what they taught, how they taught, and the outcome. So these schools could be teaching socialism or communism, and we would have no say. Well, I don't think that's what you voted for me to do. As a conservative, fiscal conservative Republican, I think you want accountability with those funds, and so I voted against that bill. Okay, finally, another reason why Mr. Doyle Beck is upset with me is he believes that my index score, my Idaho Freedom Foundation score, is too low. In fact, I am below some Democrats, okay? And he says, Kevin Cook must be a Democrat. Well, let me give you some examples why I did what I did. First of all, I voted to totally fund our police station, our state troopers. Second of all, I voted to fund our veterans budget. Okay, I believe our veterans are key to keeping us free, and we owe them something. We need to take care of them, and so I voted for that to keep our veterans. And the Idaho Freedom Foundation gave that budget a -2, I believe, score. They're not supporting our veterans, and I think that's a crying shame. Okay, next example is the Idaho Transportation Department budget. I worked hard on this budget. I saved the taxpayers $110 million on this budget. I believe that is a good thing. Idaho Freedom Foundation gave it a -5. A -5. That was the worst score of any budget this session. Okay? And who voted with the Idaho Freedom Foundation? Every single Democrat voted for that. Okay? So, yes, Mr. Beck is upset with me, but those are the reasons, and I believe the reasons that he's upset is not a true fiscal responsible Republican. And here is my wonderful wife that is joining us. She's been busy with grandkids doing her duty.
Yes, grandkids. And you know what? It's so crazy to me that here you saved the taxpayers like $110 million, and yet they're mad at you. That makes no sense to me.
No, and then to say that I vote with the Democrats. No, the Democrats voted with IFF. They're the ones that voted it. So I do my homework. I work very hard on these budgets. I want to understand. I want to see where the money's being spent. I spent a lot of time on the road during the session and outside of the session to go and find out, where did this money get spent? How is it getting spent? Show me the projects. What's going on with it? Reading the building assessments on this stuff. And so I do work hard. I think it's a good vote.
And I can attest to that, because sometimes he'll come home and I'll say, okay, so this building came up in our budget. Let's go check it out. And that's where we drive to that weekend. But most of the time, he is like leaving the house. We do an Airbnb. He leaves like before 6 in the morning, and I don't see him until like 8:30 that night. And he doesn't even come home on the weekends hardly ever, because he's constantly studying these budgets. So he is never one to just vote the way someone tells him to. He researches and researches some more. And if he still can't figure it out, he talks to anyone that's an expert in the industry, for or against. He really, truly does his homework. I've been really impressed with that.
It's important to hear both sides of the issue too. So I do. I want to know why you're against it and why you're for it. So I do talk to those. But anyway, that's why that Mr. Doyle Beck is upset with me, because I feel like I'm doing my duty and I'm being a responsible, fiscal responsible conservative Republican.
Yeah, and it's not like you just can't vote to spend any money. You have to. Idaho has to have some money.
Okay.
All right, so I guess we're on our next topic, which is voting. Now, you may want to get a piece of paper and a pencil and write some of this down, because there are 3 ways to vote, and it's closer than you even think. It's like 17 days away. So voting is May 21st for this primary election. And we need you to vote like your life depends on it. There really, truly is a lot on the line. You have no idea. But anyway, so you can vote early. You can go down to the Bonneville County election office and vote early. You can request an absentee ballot. Even if you're going to be in town, you can request an absentee ballot. And I don't know how crazy your life is, but you never know if you're going to be sick, if you're going to have ball games, if you're going to have to stay at work longer. But vote at your convenience in your own home by requesting an absentee ballot. And then, of course, the third way is voting in person. We don't care which way you vote. We just need you to get out there and vote.
True. Okay, you got your pencil and paper ready. Okay, because here's the three things you need. All right, so first off, if you get totally lost, don't know what to do, and just need some help, Penny Manning is awesome. She is the county clerk in Bonneville County Elections Office. Their phone number is 208-529-1363. That's 208-529-1363. And she will walk you through it and help you. And she's got lots of good volunteers that are helping there as well. The address, if you're like, I don't want to call, I just want to go there. Great. The address is 497 North Capitol Avenue. Now that's a new spot. They're in a new building. So if you go to the old building, you're going to miss them. So the new address is 497 North Capitol Avenue. They're open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and they are more than willing to help you. And finally, the last place that you might want to go and get some help, not because it's the worst, but it's a very, very good. It's the website. They have a brand new website. Secretary of State have put out a new website, and it's voteidaho.gov. Now, there's no underscore space or anything between vote and Idaho, so it's just voteidaho.gov. Very, very helpful, and we can talk you through some more of that.
Yeah, actually, I think that's the best way to vote, is to go to voteidaho.gov. As far as voting early in the election office, honestly, all you have to do is type Bonneville County Election Office in your map system. Google, or what's the Apple one? Well, it doesn't matter. Whatever you use, just type that in. It will take you right to there. So you don't have to remember 497 Capitol. Anyway, just type it in. It will take you right exactly there. It will even help you with those one-way streets and this and that. It's all going to be great.
And so right now, early voting, so you can go in person to the elections office. It's open Monday, May 6th through Friday, May 17th. So that's open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yep.
5 days a week. So you got 2 weeks. You can go and vote in person. You don't have to wait for the traditional precinct.
But again, just request that absentee ballot. I promise it's the easiest thing to do.
Right. So let's talk about the absentee ballot. The absentee ballot, the idea here is that you request the ballot, and you request that online, and then they will mail you the ballot.
Yeah, but to request it online, you do have to know the day you were born.
Yep.
Okay. You do have to have your driver's license. Yeah, and it's the name that's like your legal name that's on your driver's license. So if you go by like our son goes by his middle name, he can't do that. You have to type in the first legal name of your driver's license, and you need to have the last 4 of your social security. And you put that in, and it just pops right up, and you have to promise that you're going to vote with your party, and that you're who you really truly say you are. And then they find you, and they pop up, and they say, "Hey, is this you?" You say, "Yes, ma'am," or "Yes, sir."
It is a great website. It's pretty easy to follow too. So get on there, request your ballot, your absentee ballot, and if you got a missionary out or a military person out, get them to request their ballot as well. Get that to them. And then once you have that, open it up.
Or you're a busy mom with lots of kids, or no kids, but you're running kids here, there, and everywhere.
So we were going to tell you step by step how to get that. I don't know if that's...
It is self-explanatory. Call me.
Yeah, I'll share it.
Yeah, just call us. We can walk you through it. I think the thing that confuses people the most is it's asking why you want an absentee. Like, are you military? Are you gone? There's actually a little thing you can check that just says absentee.
Yeah.
So it's not like you have to prove you're going to be out of town. They recognize the importance of people voting. And so they're trying to make it easy. Whatever you want to do, we're down for it. Go to the polls. We don't care. We just want you to vote and vote again like your life depends on it, because it does.
Yeah. And finally, the traditional way of voting is show up at the polling station. So I guess the real question is, well, how do I know where to vote? So that's on May 21st. Okay, let's say you don't do any of that other stuff. May 21st, you said, okay, I'm going to go to my polling station. Some really easy ways to figure that out. Again, you can either call the elections office, which is 208-529-1363.
Feel like a commercial. That was 208-529-1363. But honestly, just again, go to voteidaho.gov. It's such a user-friendly website, and it will tell you exactly where you need to go to vote. And again, you can call me.
Yep.
I can help you.
Call Sherry. She knows everything. She's good. Okay, so biggest thing to remember, again, whether you vote early, vote absentee ballot, or vote the traditional way, showing up your polling station, go vote. And again, I'm a fiscal conservative Republican. I do my homework. I try to understand what is best for Idaho, and more than anything, I listen to you, the constituents, to help me in knowing how to vote and where to vote and what to do with that. So I'm asking you to join me, and together we will make Idaho first.
So, last thing, how is the campaign going?
How is the campaign going? Well, I think it's going really well. However, you never know until May 21st around 11 o'clock at night, when the votes are all tallied and counted, and that's when you find out. But I think things are going well. We're working hard. We've got a great committee that's out working. So it's going well.
There's lots of ways that you can help, though, in our effort. You can talk about Kevin, not badly, but you can help promote him on social media. In Facebook, it's kevincookforidaho.com.
Well, Facebook.
No, Facebook.
That's
you
a
just
page.
go into Facebook, sorry.
Do a search for Kevin Cook for Idaho.
Yeah, because your webpage is kevincookforidaho.com.
Yeah.
But yes, follow him on social media. Share some of his posts. Don't be afraid to share your opinions with other people, because all of us aren't sure on some things. And so we have to help each other by talking and having conversations. And speaking of conversations, if you would like to have a conversation with Kevin, I know I'm jumping ahead, but we would be happy to host some town halls in your home. You want to talk about that? And then we'll go back to who wants a yard sign.
So whether it's just you or 2 or 3 of your neighbors or whatever, if you've got an audience, I will travel. I will come find you, and I'll sit down in your house, and I will answer your questions, and we'll discuss why I did what I did, and we'll discuss my record. So that's kind of the bottom line. I don't need to make promises about what I will do. You can go look at my record. Yeah.
And you're not just going to talk about why you vote. I mean, you have questions. This is a perfect opportunity to not only say, why did you vote this way, but what about this? And why wasn't this brought up? And how can we make this happen? And just express your concerns, but just come meet him as a person. He is very down to earth, and he truly cares what your concerns are. And he wants to make a difference in our state.
I do. And in fact, I was talking this morning with Sherry and says, a lot of the bills that I sponsor were based on constituents' concerns and issues. Those are the ones that I really like to sponsor, because it's hometown. It's you guys that are having the issues, and you're the ones that voted for me and asked me to go represent you. And so I try to do that. But for the election, the campaign, I need your help. I need your help getting the word out, whether that's on social media or whether it's just talking around the water, getting water at the
water hole,
the water hole, whatever.
Not everyone irrigates, but the easy way, let us put a sign in your yard.
Yeah.
We are going to be out and about doing that today. If you'd like a sign, let us know. We'll give you 1 or 2 or 5.
And you can call us, text us, email us, or you can get on to kevincookforidaho.com. And there you can request a sign, or you can text or email me at kevincookforidaho@gmail.com. and it will work. But love to come to your house and do a town hall meeting and a discussion. And that doesn't have to be some super duper production. It's just invite some people, sit down for 45 minutes, 60 minutes, whatever works for you. And when we're done, you can just say, thanks, Kevin, you can leave now. And there's no problem with that. I don't want to spend the whole night there. I just come in, get the questions answered, and leave, and let you go on with your life as well. So that's kind of it. It's Saturday, and it's a beautiful Saturday, so go enjoy it. Thanks, guys, for joining Breakfast with the Cooks. I'm asking for your vote, and I do that respectfully. And I'm a fiscal conservative Republican. Again, I do my homework. I listen to you, my constituents. Join me, and together we'll put Idaho first. Thank you.
Have a good Saturday.
Turn that off.
You got me. But it's still on.